Perry, what a special thing for you guys to, anytime you make a state championship in any sport, it's special. But my goodness, the way that you have done it by going on the road and winning 4 consecutive games, and none of these were like cupcakes, but the one against Barnwell, I think, was literally the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae. That really had to show you, not that you were doubting anything, that had to show you this is a special group of kids to go up there and win.
Oh, definitely. You know, this whole playoff run, you know, it's been great. These kids have really come together, and couldn't be more proud of them. You know, we're happy to get where we got to, but we're not satisfied. You know, we want to finish this thing off. But yeah, last week, I think the big thing with last week's game, not just to win the way we won. You know, the kids dropped down 14 points early, 5 minutes into the game, and you know, maybe earlier in the year, we might have folded at that point. But these kids didn't fold; they never wavered, and you really never would have known we were down 14 points the way they just kept fighting through it and clawed their way back in the game. And at the end, by the end of the game, they were on top.
Folks that weren't at the game, there was a couple of times where it got to the where you got good plays by big plays by kids that may have saved it getting to the point of no return. You cut it to 14-6, and then sure enough, they're heading to the end zone. Looked like they were going to return y'all's kickoff to go right back up, which could have been a backbreaker.
Yeah.
And you had a player make a play. Pat Burgess ran the guy down, and then you held him to nothing. They got nothing out of it.
We had several big plays. You know, that was big right there. It's 14-6. We just gained a little bit more momentum back. They broke the kickoff. They're about to get the momentum, and he tackles the guy, and we hold them for no touchdown. You know, the next position, they drive down, and we block a field goal, and referees call roughing the kicker. So they get another down, and we hold them on 4th and 1 from the 4-yard line. And the offense turns around and goes 96 yards, and so you know those were key plays. And then you know in the second half we muffed a punt, and you know they got the ball at the 6-yard line, and defense held them 3 and out, and they kicked a field goal, and that gave them 17. But you know if they just scored there, they could have put it away. So there's times again where they had opportunities, and our kids really bowed their backs and stood their ground and made sure they came out on top.
As far as Abbeville, this is obviously a really good football team. Tell me a little bit about them and what you feel, without giving anything away, that you guys are really going to have to do well to give you the best chance to.
You know, they're a great football team. Coach Nichols and those guys over there do a great job. I mean, they've won 20-something games in a row. Won a state championship last year. I mean, so you can just say enough about that. That tells you a lot about them. They do it the right way. That's the big thing about them. You know, those guys coach them up. They play hard. You know, they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. And so this is definitely going to be another challenge for us this week. Each week's been it's kind of the challenge is growing a little bit more, as it should, as you climb in the playoffs. And you know, this is going to be our ultimate challenge this week to come out on top. You know, our biggest things we got to do, number one, we got to protect the ball. We can't turn it over. You know, can't drop down 14 points against this ball team. I'm not saying that it'd be over with, but you know, it'd be a lot tougher to come back. So you know, that was our first couple of turnovers we had in the last few weeks. We had the other night. So we can't turn the ball over, and then defensively we can't give up any big plays. You know, we got to tackle. They got 3 great running backs that can hurt you at any time, and the quarterback runs good enough to hurt you also. So we got to make sure we do a good job tackling those guys. You know, setting the edge. They do a good job attacking the edges and trying to get outside on. We got to do a good job setting the edge, and then when we get a chance, we got to tackle them. They got to go down around there. It can't be missed tackles, and they get long runs on us.
They, as you mentioned, long winning streak, 20 games, somewhere around there. They won the state championship last year, so they've got kids that have been there. Your kids, this is uncharted territory. Does that concern you? That they'll get caught up in the moment once it's time to play tomorrow over at Benedict?
You know, I don't think so with this group of kids we got. You know, I think some group of kids it probably does, but I mean, this group just went on the road 4 weeks. Their backs have been against the wall. Everybody's doubting them. And really, these kids just kind of take each game to the next. I mean, they don't look forward, they don't look back, and you know, it's another week of football. We get to play one more week, and you know, and that's what our kids look forward towards. The ultimate goal of this one's a little bigger than other weeks, and I think our kids understand that, so they understand they're playing for a little bit more. So I think they'll rise to the occasion and play that much harder. You know, and that being said, you know, they did play the state championship last year, but we're not. It's not like our kids aren't familiar. We played Abbeville 5 times. This will be the 5th time in the last 3 years we played Abbeville. We played them twice last year, twice the year before. So we do have a lot of familiarity with them. They got a lot with us, and so you know, it should be a good, hard-fought game.
Now, I got to ask you, because, and I know you've got a lot of this, for good reason, the Woolbright name. I mean, everybody knows knows anything about Midlands football, and the field at Chapin named after your grandfather, who won 2 state titles there. You have actually, though, rather than ask you about all that, you have been on the field right, as a ball boy for 3 lower state championship games. Is that right?
2 lower and 1 upper.
2 lower and 1 upper championship game when you were younger. Just what kind of memories, just curiously, do you have from those situations, other than the crying afterwards?
I can remember the games vaguely. I remember at Gilbert, when Dad was at Gilbert, we played Swansea at Gilbert. Just tied the game up. It just went 21-20, scored. Dad went for 2. Ran a buck sweep back to our sideline, and the running back dove in the end zone and got tackled over the goal line. Unfortunately, the official was out of position and called no touchdown. Ended up losing the game 21-20. At Clover, they played Daniel, my 8th grade year, I think it was. I was ball boy, and I remember again, I was standing right at the pylon. He goes for 2 in the win, and the running back spun out of bounds right at the goal line, and the guy hits him right at the pylon and knocks him out right before it, and they lose that one by 1. So, I remember a lot of those games. Even though I was a ball boy, it's kind of like my sons. I was very involved in the games, and those games really meant a lot to me too.
Now your boys, they're gonna be out there, right?
Yeah, definitely. They've been excited ever since last week. It's another game for them, another big one, but they're definitely excited about this week, and they definitely wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now, as far as you told me, there's going to be a couple of people really special to you, obviously on the sideline or at the stadium, I should say. I don't know where they'll be, but at this one, including your college coach.
Yeah, Coach Moore. I talked to him this weekend, and he's going to come down. He's been special to me. Of course, playing for a guy that's won 3 national championships. I think it was 9 or 10 conference championships he won at App. So in all the wins, but just not just the wins, but the person he was and what he taught us as players and men growing up and stuff like that. And for him, a Hall of Fame. He's an NCAA Hall of Fame coach, to be willing to come down to a high school game and watch one of his former players. It's special. So it'll definitely be great having him there Friday night.
And Dad will be there, right?
Yeah, Dad will be there, and Mom will be there. My wife, she's been there the whole way, and it's exciting for everybody.
Man, this is special, man. I will tell you genuinely, man, I hope you guys, have a great night tomorrow night.
I appreciate it.
And you know it, and we'll be there. I'll be there. It's all me. So me and all my assistants, right? My big staff.
Well, it's been a great year. And really, my goal as a coach has been to make sure we're talking about the next week each week for you. As long as we were doing that, not summarizing, we were doing what goes. So every Friday night, I wanted to make sure I was talking about the next game with you.
Good. I'll leave my ring size with you when I leave here. So hey, man, best of luck, and we'll talk to you either way, obviously, of the other side of the holiday break. But this is the last time we will see you in this setting. But we'll see you after the game. Either way. Although you might, hopefully you'll really want to talk to me. We'll pop the cork on the Diet Mountain Dew bottle.
Right. We will.
All right, Coach, go get him, man.
All right, thank you.